Hi, my wise astrology tribe, Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. Today, I'm here to analyze, you can see the Uranus Jupiter conjunction, which is going to happen April 20 or 21st. It depends where are you located in the world. And it is going to be a big, huge conjunction. We're gonna cover everything about Uranus, everything about Taurus and Jupiter. And actually, we're going to also analyze the sky during this conjunction, because other thing is also going to get aspected during this conjunction. We're going to talk about the synodic cycle. I'm going to explain what is that, the historical events, what happened during when Uranus and Jupiter were conjuncted in 1941, May and June previously. So we're going to cover a lot. And actually, I'm going to do two parts of this video. And the reason I'm gonna do two parts of this video is because we have to cover a lot. And the other video is going to be for each individual sign, and I'm going to talk a lot from each individual signs, at least like five minutes for each sign. So that's why I want to cover the mundane perspective in another video. So if you're new to my channel, this is Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, then you can check out my website, which is UrbanWitch.org. Okay, you can see that right behind, above my head, actually. All right, guys, so let's start with this amazing conjunction, which is going to bring in a lot of chaos, because Uranus is the planet of chaos. Probably a lot of other astrologer is going to cover this subject or already covered it before me as well. So let's start with the synodic cycle. Synodic cycle actually is a period between two planets, which is always starts with a conjunction. We usually only, like analyze the major aspect between the planets. So it starts with a conjunction and it ends right before the conjunction. And the cycle is significant in astrology as it begins a new phase in a relationship between the energies of the archetype of the two planets and the archetype, what it represents over here. So the duration of the synodic cycle, it varies. Why? Because it depends on the planet involved into this cycle. Each planet orbits in different speed around the sun. So that's why it differs and it varies. The synodic cycle of Jupiter and Uranus marked actually by their conjunction, and every single planet is marked by its conjunction, what I said. But for Jupiter and Uranus, usually it's take around 14 years. And as I said, each single conjunction initiates a new period, a new change, something with innovation, a new change in our lives. So if you would like to, then we can talk about the historical events as well. But you have to know, Uranus will actually energize Jupiter's faith and desires for meaning, bringing a positive vision, something like the future going to be filled with hope and creativity and generosity as well, toward to humanity. So they are going to amplify each other's tendencies and each other's archetype over here. Okay, so let's see what's going to, actually what's happened 14, so every 14 years, they're going to conjunct. So before it's happened in Aries, I'm not going to talk about the Aries conjunction, but I'm going to talk about the conjunction in 1941 because it did happen in Taurus. And we want to know this conjunction because similar effect could happen right now in the world. So as you know, it happened 1941, May and June, when actually it's related to the Second World War. All right, so there is a lot of military engagement, or were a lot of military engagement, and there was a lot of geopolitical shift in our world. For example, May 24th, the British battlecruiser, the HMS Hood, was sunk by the German battleship Bismarck in the North Atlantic. On May 25th, 5,000 people drowned in a storm at the Ganges in India. That was a cyclone over there. May 26th, and you know, Uranus is cyclone as well, and tornadoes as well, big wind, and you know, swirl around. May 26th, the Royal Navy aircraft fatally crippled the Bismarck, and the Bismarck, the German ship, actually sank. May 28 and 30-ish, there was another geopolitical event, actually, that was a military, which is like the British and Commonwealth forces began evacuating Crete. And then also they ended the Anglo-Iraq War as well. So Baghdad had to surrender for British forces as well. So June 1st, we had the Commonwealth forces completed the withdrawal from Crete. June 8 and 10, the French-controlled Syria and Lebanon were invaded by Allied forces. June 13 and 15, the Battle of Jazin occurred. So there was some kind of and it was an Operation Battle Axe and attempt to relieve the siege of Tobruk, and it's failed. June 21st and 22nd, President Roosevelt authorized funding for the Manhattan Project, and Germany launched the first operation and invaded Soviet Union. June 24th and 27th, German forces entered and bombed actually Helsinki. No, actually, the German forces entered Vilnius and the Soviet Union bombed Helsinki. So because they were against each other. And then that day, it started the war between the Soviet Union and Finland, right? So June 26 and 27, there was Slovakia and Hungary who declared war on the Soviet Union and started to occupy Lithuania officially. June 29, there was an Operation Arctic Fox began involving Finnish and German troops against the Soviet Union. Okay, what's happened in science? Because Uranus is science. The Manhattan Project, what I actually mentioned before, right, in June. So what is Roosevelt signed? What was the Manhattan Project? Okay. So a research and development undertaking during World War II that produced the first nuclear weapons. Uranus is nuclear weapons, nuclear powers, okay? So it got funded by the US and Germany. Okay, Uranus, the seventh planet from the sun, and it is really, really unique in several ways. So discovery. Uranus was the first planet discovered with a telescope by William Herschel in 1781. And then it's expanded the solar system, right? Because Uranus is far out there. So the orbital characteristic, it takes about 84 years to complete the orbit around the sun. That's why I said the synodic cycle, it's really important because every single planet conjunction, it varies which planet is actually involved in this conjunction. So because of Uranus takes a lot to go around the sun, it's for 84 years, and Jupiter takes around 12 years to go around the sun. That's why Uranus and Jupiter usually meet every 14 years in a different sign. What is the atmosphere of Uranus? It is actually helium and hydrogen. And there has some small amount of methane as well. And Uranus has a beautiful, beautiful color of blue. It's almost like, that's why I like aquamarine, use aquamarine during any Uranian transit, because it reminds me of Uranus. So does it have any moon? Yes, Uranus have 13 rings and it does have 27 moons, all right? So also what you have to know about that, there is some ice giant with an icy mantle surrounding a rock and iron core. The mantle is made of water, ammonia, and methane ice. Astrological significance of Uranus. In astrology, Uranus is associated with change, innovation, rebellion, chaos, science, tornadoes, innovation, higher mind. It's also the crown chakra, which is connect you with the Akashic record. Okay, let's talk about Uranus and its mythology. Uranus first was known as Uranus in Greek mythology, but later on they are actually represented Uranus with Prometheus, the awakener. Okay, so actually Richard Tarnas said Uranus has more like an archetype of Prometheus and not Uranus. Okay, so let's see what's happened over here. So Prometheus was a titan who was also seen as a trickster. Why? Because Prometheus, by the myth, actually tricked the god, and it tricked Saturn. Why? Because of, actually it tricked Jupiter, Zeus. Because Zeus didn't want to give the fire to people and didn't want the people to become immortal, right? And then Prometheus actually said, you know what, I'm going to anyway bring some kind of little clay of like spark to the people, to the mankind, and I'm going to pass along the fire for them. And that's why Zeus became very, very mad of Prometheus. And what Zeus did? Zeus actually, Jupiter cursed mankind, right? And it brought, for example, illness, you know, death on people, illness, jealousy, vice, insanity, labor, old age, sickness. And then, how did he do that? Prometheus had a brother, and Prometheus told to the brother, don't open anything if Zeus sent you a gift. But his brother was really curious, and actually Zeus sent a gift to Prometheus' brother, and it was Pandora, the Pandora box. And that was including anything, vice, passion, insanity, labor, sickness, old age. And obviously Prometheus' brother opened Pandora, right? All right, so also, you know, what Prometheus was, he was very, very smart, and he gave to mankind the knowledge of agriculture, mathematics, and, you know, he passed on to those knowledges and art and civilization. So the gods were mad at him. Okay, so let's see what else we're going to talk about. Let's talk about Jupiter over here. Jupiter in the solar system. Jupiter has a huge presence in the solar system. It's a gas giant. It keeps going and growing, and actually it represents your needs. It represents generosity. It represents growth, improvement, progress in our life, right? So it's actually a greater benefit. It's a social planet, and it rules two signs. It rules Pisces at night in the 12th house, and Sagittarius in the 9th house in daytime. This is your confidence in life. It is grace and joy and faith. Jupiter is faith as well. as I said, greater benefit, and social planet with Saturn, with his father. So both of them social planet. And the characteristic of the astronomical characteristic of Jupiter, it is a gas giant, also hydrogen and helium, and this features the Great Red Spot, which is a giant storm on Jupiter actually. So it is a visible cloud band in Jupiter, the red spot, and it does have at least 79 moons, and one of them is Europa and Ganymede. Actually, Ganymede is, I hope I pronounce it well, it's actually connected with the water bearer as well. And there is Callisto as well, and 79 moon it has. And Jupiter takes, as I said, 12 years to go around its orbit around the sun. It has a short day, rotating once every 10 hours. And what is the astrological significance? So as we mentioned before, expansion. So actually it expands everything wherever it touches. So Jupiter is the greater benefit, but sometimes in the 6th house or 12th house, actually, and it's rules the 12th house, or 8th house, if it's conjunct with your natal malefic planet, it could bring in illness and suffer as well. So there it's not really beneficial for us. But otherwise, it's abundance and optimism, right? So I am ruled by Jupiter. I really love Jupiter. However, I have to tell you that story. My older son, who is 14 right now, he loves Greek mythology and all kind of mythology, Roman mythology, Egyptian, all of them. And one day he came home from school and he said, I don't even understand why are you proud of to be ruled by Jupiter, because Jupiter was a raper and Zeus and was so nasty and killed his father. And, you know, like, how can you associate yourself with something like this? And it's not a greater benefit. So he gave me all this lecture, and he was only 11 years old or 12 years old at that time. So it is funny. Yes, all right. But, you know, Jupiter is optimism. And Jupiter's rules Sagittarius and Pisces, as I said, it's exalted in Cancer. And right now it's in Taurus. May 25th, it's going to go to Gemini. And after that, which I really love, because really, guys, in Gemini, it's going to do great with education and knowledge. And so many dumb people around the world, like, I'm going crazy. I can't take it anymore. So it's going to really value education finally, and integrity and things like that. And then it's going to go to be in Cancer. So Cancer, it's going to be luxurious. And actually in Cancer, Jupiter, it's going to be great, because by that time, we're still going to have North Node in Pisces. And I would think that it's going to be affordable house prices for all. So that I think that's going to be great over there. All right. And actually, Jupiter doesn't like to be in Saturn. Why? Because it's opposing Cancer, where it's exalted. And also, it doesn't like to be neither in Gemini or Virgo. Why? Because of Gemini is the axis of Sagittarius, where it rules daytime. And Virgo is the axis of Pisces, where it rules nighttime. So in 3 places, it hates to be Capricorn and Gemini and Virgo. It doesn't like to be. However, as I said right now, if it's go there, it's going to help with education. So, okay, so let's talk about Jupiter a little bit with Roman mythology, right? And Greek mythology. So Jupiter is the Roman version. Zeus is the Greek version of Jupiter, the god of the sky and the thunder. So he was the most powerful god, and, you know, he had to go against his father, who was Saturn, because Saturn ate all his children, and we know that kind of mythology. And Jupiter was actually succeeding and killed his father and was not eaten by him. All right. But in Babylonian mythology, actually, Jupiter is Marduk, and Marduk is also healing and magic and also fertility and the god of agriculture as well. So really, the Babylonian mythology brings in the magic from Jupiter. But in the 12th house, Jupiter is very spiritual and very magical. So in Pisces, it is very magical. It rules, it's the old avatar of Pisces until we discovered Neptune, and Neptune became the new avatar, new lord of Pisces. Let's talk about Taurus, guys, because of the conjunction gonna happen in Taurus. Taurus ruled by Venus. It's an earth fixed sign. Venus symbolizes love. It symbolizes luxury, comfort, attraction. It symbolizes currency as well, material needs as well. And Venus is one of the planets, you would be surprised, but Venus is the typical yin and yang over here, which is representing the dark and the light side of the female, right? So Venus is not all good over there because of nighttime it rules Libra and daytime it rules the farmland, Taurus, and currency and comfort and luxury, your material needs. In Libra, it rules love. But in Libra, it could be quite violent sometimes. And as I always repeat myself, I know a lot of people who is Libra ruled and they are Venus ruled. They are like, what are you talking about? Libra never could be actually aggressive. But Libra is one out of 4 signs which is violent, if you believe it or not. And very, very funny, or not funny, but my boys are very kind. They are also Taurus, and both of them May 1st, May 2nd, Venus ruled. And all the bullies of them is Libra. I don't understand why, because Venus, it's supposed to be, but I guess the daytime and the nighttime, that could be something with that. But yes, that's what's happening in our personal life. So, Venus is comfort and luxury, especially in Taurus, but it prefers stability and routine. Very, very strong. Taurus is ruled by the bull, and the symbol is also the bull over there, and that's stubbornity. It's seeking for definitely stability. Financial stability is very important for Taurus. I know a lot of Taurian people who are very well financially because of they need that kind of luxury. They do that for themselves. They don't expect anyone to work for them, but definitely they seek for comfort and luxury. But also they are very, very loyal and they are value security. And actually Uranus in Taurus could be anything to do with cameras and security system. So, it's also indicates that, but definitely Taurus is loyalty and value security. So what's happening right now when Uranus and Jupiter going to conjunct in Taurus, and what can we actually expect? If you know me, and if you know how I built up everything, I, in mundane perspective, I always talk about geopolitical, weather, education, health, anything to do with peace and war, because it's always, like Uranus, obviously it's chaos. So it's going to indicate some kind of social unrest. Uranus is social unrest. But also because it's in Taurus, it's very important. Taurus rules the farmlands, lands, Gaia. It is something to do with weather. And Uranus in Taurus, anyway, it's climate change. It is unexpected weather event, mudslide, for example. It could be a lot of tornado. Uranus is cyclone and tornadoes. So Uranus rules Aquarius, and in Aquarius, it's tornado cycle and cyclone. And, if you compare with the other air signs, for example, Gemini, it's the wind or whirlwind. And then what is the other one? Libra is going to be just the midnight summer breeze. it's not a strong force, but Uranus is a strong wind. So earthquake, Uranus is tremor. Even in medical astrology, it's tremor, it's shaking, it's neurological issues. So Uranus is tremor, so it could create a lot of earthquake. And around April, you will see how many, and it could be devastating earthquake will happen by the time mudslide. Why? Because we still have Neptune in Pisces and it's very, very strong, right? It's a very strong energy. So it will indicate a lot of issue with rain and flood. And because of the rain and floods, it could create later on mudslide as well, and Uranus, Jupiter. But, you know, I'm going to talk about the sky picture, and there is another thing happening the same time, the same day when Uranus and Jupiter conjunct, and we're going to talk about that. So, all right. So it is also going to be a shift in seasonal pattern, but it's going to affect our farming and the food production as well. You know, tornadoes, winds, earthquake. Well, yeah, it's definitely going to affect the food production. If we're going to check the war and the peace on the earth, you know, like there is conflict. Uranus is social unrest, and I said it in multiple videos. We're going to have 40 countries going to choose a leader. All right. So what's going to happen? Jupiter over here and Uranus over here with geopolitical or war and peace dynamic. We're going to have revolutions. We're going to have social unrest. Why? Because it's 40 countries, guys. It's going to affect 3.4 billion people. This is going to be crazy. And, you know, also, Uranus is bronze and nuclear weapons. So nuclear powers could get actually exploded. It could be also new nuclear weapons created scientifically. It could be some kind of crazy, luxurious military drones, you know, because of Jupiter is luxury as well, and Taurus also ruled by Venus, luxury. Uranus, technology. Uranus rules the aviation and the drones, so it could be that as well. Okay, so geopolitical impact, you know, global trade, especially in agriculture and anything with natural resources. Uranus rules anything with uranium, also natural resources like gas from cow poop or horse poop or something like that, that kind of natural resources. But it could also do some kind of new political movement, right? Because of, as I said, the elections everywhere, which is going to bring in instability, unfortunately. And if you check, Taurus is the financial axis, because Taurus and Scorpio is the financial axis. Taurus rules the second house of earned money. But Uranus, anything to do with cryptocurrency, anything to do with energy, technology, AI, quantum AI, technology, software, Apple, anything with new computers, you know, those new VRs, virtual reality things, ChatGPT, Bitcoin, Ethereum, new kind of cryptocurrency will rise. And actually, I would assume it will go up like crazy. Actually, Bitcoin could reach to be 100,000. Also, I want to tell you, because I'm going to put that out a long time before, and me personally, don't take it from me, it's not an advice for you, but check February 16th and 24th between, I think Bitcoin going to decrease and Ethereum and crypto. I'm gonna buy and invest again in Bitcoin because I assume, I really checked everything and I assume it's going to go up significantly with this Uranus and Jupiter conjunction, and quantum AI I'm gonna buy, and ChatGPT I already invested. So those kind of things, what is going to be, I mean, I believe it could make rich people, but you know, Uranus is unexpected. So it could go either way, but because it is conjuncted with Jupiter, which is a benefit, and Jupiter does well in Taurus, comfort, luxury, financial access. Yes, I do believe there is going to be a big bloom of that. I'm not saying other stuff not going to go down. Yes, it is. But you know, anything to do with nuclear power, anything to do with military drones, it will definitely expand and it's going to increase. All right. I lost my thought. Education. All right, let's talk about education. You know, Uranus is the genius. Jupiter also rules the ninth house of higher education. So I would think there is some kind of new technological advancement, new application, people going to more like to be actually learning through computer and not really particularly going to school and be in school. And it could be for multiple reasons. You know, we can start to do online study again. Why? Because we're going to have a lot of social unrest. We're going to have mudslides. We're going to have tornadoes, you know, like those kind of weather-related climate issues as well. And, you know, a lot of people is going to feel safer at home. And then it could actually increase the technology part. And that's why it's going to increase also on stock because of a lot of people going to use it. More thing going to come up like Zoom. Like I'm recording that on Zoom, but similar platforms gonna come up. Social activities on internet, but more like, you know, the movie and the Facebook and Instagram. There is gonna be multiple new innovative new kind of platform available for us, and also things where we can learn. A lot of people going to be really interested in not only in technology and AI, but they're going to learn about astrology. A lot more people going to be inclined to astrology. Okay. So yes, breakthroughs in technology for sure. I was already talking about that, but it could be eco-friendly because it's in Taurus and fixed time. So something to do with the environment, development, you know, like we're going to actually focus on climate and why are we ruining Mother Earth? And you know, there is going to be protest against climate change, you know, not against, but you know, like do something about climate change as well. Yes, but definitely that's a lot of development that is going to actually enchant the technologies, and that is going to increase your finances. So if you invested over there. And you know, I told you already, Uranus in Taurus also cameras. Uranus in Taurus also recycling programs. So I would assume there will be something on it will be something on what is that? Oh, technology and or recycling program on stock market. It will be something which is coming on, a new stock, which is actually you can invest in recycle stock, something like that, and it's going to be really great. And you know, health. And I didn't talk about in mythology Prometheus, how Zeus actually punished Prometheus. I said punished also mankind, you know, with Pandora, but actually Prometheus been chained to a rock. And there was then an eagle coming and eating his liver all the time. And it's regrow. So the pain was intense and constant and permanent. So, you know, if we are associating Prometheus with liver and liver pain, Jupiter is expanding something. Uranus is bacterial infection in medical astrology. I would assume there will be something coming what is going to affect the liver, and it could be a bacterial infection, and it could expand that during this period. And Taurus also rules the bulls, the buffaloes, the cows. So it could come from farmland, it could come from mad cow disease, whatever, and going to affect the liver later on, but mad cow disease affects the brain, but something with that, or something also do with the liver, see, a new kind of liver bacteria, and that could happen as well. Okay, let's see what kind of innovation coming in medicine and health. So that was actually the bacteria that could come, but Uranus and Jupiter, because Jupiter was Pisces and Sagittarius, it could actually emphasize on holistic healing, emphasize on anything to do with natural remedies because of the Piscean nature of Jupiter here. Anything to do with sustainability, okay? So for example, Taurus energy brings in the meadow, it brings in the earth. So, and you know, Saturn getting close to Neptune, and I keep telling that to people, Saturn in Pisces could actually decrease the pharmaceuticals. So for example, we're not gonna have medicine available. Why? Because there will be earthquake, there will be war, you know, like we're giving here, there, out of medicine not gonna be available. Your herbal knowledge is very important, and I'm very glad I have that. You doing your own fire cider, anything to do with antibiotics, you're gonna do your own research, and you're gonna use herbs, flowers, roots, anything to heal your family. So that could be that kind of sustainable efficiency, the Taurian, the earthy energy that we're gonna use in natural remedies. All right, what else can we see over here? You know, definitely it's very amazing for agriculture. Technological wise, it's amazing because it's going to improve. Also, it could be like people need to learn more things and new things, and the farmers, you know, who had so hard anyway, to learn that kind of evolutionary technology could be a little bit hard, but definitely it could be like expand the technology on farmland and in agriculture. So I like that revolutionary energy over there. All right. Let's see what's going to happen with investors during this conjunction. And, you know, because of Taurus's second house, that's your earned income, and the axis, you always have to see the axis. So the Scorpio axis, which is stock markets, that's the stock index, right over there. So this Uranus and Jupiter going to be across from the stock market. It's not necessarily going to mean like the stock is going to then suffer, because as I said, farm technology and natural energy going to actually increase. But definitely there will be some kind of, after April, will be some kind of sign which is going to lead to like, all right, the stock is not stable anymore. The price is going to actually somehow, with Uranus and Jupiter, it's a bullish trend, definitely in most of the things, but definitely there is some which is going to be bearish, and you know it's going to go down. Whatever is not friendly planet with Jupiter and Uranus, those stocks could suffer. Okay, so those stocks could suffer. Anything with Mercury, anything to do with, for example, I would think it could be some kind of issue with Tesla. And even if Tesla is amazing and it's technology, but because of Jupiter is not great in Gemini and Virgo, and that's ruled by Mercury, which is ruled vehicle, Uranus is anything to, I'm just brainstorming, but Uranus is anything to do with technological, like you know, like Tesla cars and those kind of energy cars. It could be some, and also technology, it could be some issue with the part, like with the system, which is navigating system, and it could decrease that kind of issue. Also, it could actually decrease somehow the plane traveling. And Uranus is aviation, right? Jupiter is expanding traveling and Jupiter long distance traveling. However, somehow I do see some kind of navigation issue with that, with airplanes. Why? Because Taurus is an earth energy. So maybe people going to use somehow closer to earth kind of traveling, even for long distance. For a while, at least for a while, maybe because of the navigation system, it's gonna go crazy. Don't forget, Uranus is unexpected, it's crazy, it's chaos, navigation system go crazy, Jupiter expanding that. There could be some kind of nuclear thing, there could be some kind of tremor and volcano, but tremor with earthquake. Earthquake is, the plateaus going together, then it could be volcano also, the ash is there, cyclone, so it's actually stopping the traveling on the air. But Uranus and Jupiter, Uranus is drones, Jupiter is expanding that it's going to be a lot of opportunity for us to have personal drones. Like, like you're not going to go with a car, but, like a two-seat drone, and you're going to fly to theater with your loved one and not driving, which is going to be great, especially in South Florida, but there is a lot of major cities where there is conjuncted or always, or, like the traffic jam is like really, really annoying, and here also. So I would love that. Maybe, I just have to learn how to do it, and probably it's going to be a little bit scary at the beginning, like everything, but we don't know. But yes, that could happen as well. Uranus, Jupiter. All right. I just watched actually Elon Musk interview with Joe Rogan, and he said there is no UFOs. He doesn't believe in that. I don't agree with this, and I do believe during this in conjunction, we're going to have a lot of UFO sighting. A lot of UFO sighting. I'm gonna tell you why. And why I don't care what Elon Musk said over here, even if he's a genius. Because when I was younger, I was around 15 years old, I went to watch the Lila Buddha in the movie, and that night, my friend's sister died in a train accident, and his boyfriend, and I dreamt before the event it's gonna happen. That is one thing. But while we were walking home, it was 4 girls, young, and we came from the theater, we were quiet, and then we had an experience where everything stopped for a while, and we started to play we had a lot of leaves falling. It was in September, and we started to throw it up in the air, and the leaves stayed up in the air, okay? And everything became very, very slow. Like, when you are doing those slow motion videos on your phone, we were like talking slow, moving slow. And then there was a column of lights, which was actually went on us, on 4 of us. And it was, as I said, slow motion. But then over a kilometer away by the hospital, I was looking, and then other column was there, and there was a couple kissing. There I looked somewhere else, and there was another old people, bicycling. It was 8 column lights, and everybody was in slow motion. So I did have experience about an object, a flying object, something which it was more like a cloud. It was dark already, it's some heaviness, but we were very aware of the lights, the columns, not the the spaceship itself, it was something heavy energy. I didn't know what is that, but just the light and actually the way we were like very slow motion. And guess what? After that, we never talked about that until my son became 10 years old and he asked me, my older man, Mommy, do you believe in UFOs? And I was like, holy moly, yes, I do. And that's what happened when I was a young girl. And then I was like, you know what? Why don't we call off Aunt Emmy and ask? And I didn't even talk to my friends. I was we just gonna call them and you ask what did they experience, and they also never talked about that. We never, like, it was forgotten after that. And then they all of them said, oh my God, we saw a UFO, it was a UFO, and we never talked about that. So I did have an experience and I truly believe in that. So we're going to have a UFO site. And I'm sorry about the detour. You might like this little detour over here, but I felt amazing about this. Okay. So definitely there is going to be a lot of UFO sighting. Okay, what else I wanted to talk about? Oh, by the way, you know, like, yes, when it's happened in areas, the Uranus and Jupiter conjunction, we had the Arab Spring. You know, Aries is war. Aries is really impulsive and assertive energy, and there was definitely something to do with the Arab Spring. So I didn't mention that because I wanted to focus on the history of when it happened in Taurus. All right. What else? Let me see. Oh, cyber attacks. Why? Because Uranus and Jupiter is the richest, Uranus is technology, Taurus is fixed, earth sign, financial axis, right? Across is the Plutonian energy Scorpio, which is banks. So banks going to get closed, some of them. It could be a lot of cyber attack. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because of we do have Pluto in Aquarius. And you know, because of Pluto in Aquarius also could associate with some kind of cyber attack. And it's happening already in February because Pluto conjunct with all the planets, like with Mars, which is very aggressive, and Aquarius is technology, Aquarius is humanitarian, something to do with the collective, Pluto is thief. So yeah, it could be some kind of cyber attack going on. So even there is going to be a lot of people who are going to make incredible high amount of money with Bitcoins and uranium or anything they invest in, but we still have to be careful right away to get something tangible out of it, because of it could be some kind of cyber attack, but could actually clear out your bank account, okay? Clear out everything. All right, what else? Let me see. Notes over here. Yeah, definitely. I would go, it's more optimistic over here, but it could also bring market panic and because of the cyber attack most of the time. Okay, let's see something else here. So I'm going to tell you what the sky is, how the sky look like during this Uranus and Jupiter conjunction. So it's happening at 21 degrees, right? It is the third decan. So it's bringing in actually a Capricornian energy, something to do with the government. So actually protest against government leadership. Then Uranus is unexpected, and you know, with Jupiter, it could actually make a change in leadership unexpectedly because it's in a Capricornian degree. So around April, May, we can actually expect some of the leaders going to resign. And I always told you before in my videos, there is a few leaders I expecting to resign or die. This is Biden, this is King Charles, and look, we just heard he had cancer, but you know, it's not surprising me because of he has very bad aspect right now, but also he's Scorpio, Biden is Scorpio. Putin has a Scorpio ascendant, so that is a cross of them. And Uranus could be really nasty. And it depends. And actually, the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction gonna happen on Biden's moon. Uranus is neurological event. Jupiter is expanding that. So also, I would say in April, Biden is out or can't remember anything, neurological event, and like something like that. Tremor, seizure, anything like that. It could be. And Jupiter could be hospitalization as well, some neurological event or nuclear event, it could represent, but definitely those leaders over there could be affected. All right, what else? I always, like when I see my notes over here and I see the degrees, I always remember something else. So, all right, so what it's going to create, this conjunction going to form actually a grand trine with Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, which is in 22 degrees, and Ceres in Capricorn, which is also in 22 degrees. And it's also going to get an sextile with Mars in Pisces. And that day, we're going to have Venus and Chiron conjunction as well. So there is a lot of things going on at the same time. So what you have to know about that, we're going to talk about Ceres a little bit because of Ceres in mythology and also Black Moon Lilith, because it's a grand trine. It's a beautiful aspect. Grand trine is always giving us a new opportunity. It's something without fighting for. It is a granted gifting from heaven. So in Roman mythology, Ceres is the goddess of agriculture. It's the goddess of grains, crops, fertility, motherhood, nurturing relationship, okay? The Roman equivalent of this Greek Ceres is, Ceres is the Roman and the Greek is Demeter. So actually, Ceres had a daughter, Proserpina, who was actually taken by Hades, by Pluto, and Pluto took her to the underworld. So Ceres is always a fear of losing something because of her daughter was kidnapped. In astrology, it's represent also nurturing, caregiving, anything to care for others, because Ceres is rules Virgo also. So definitely service for others is one of the aspect of Ceres over here, but also environmental fertility and abundance. So with Uranus, Jupiter, the technology, the trine to Ceres going to help to create some kind of environmental abundance and fertility, or like standing up and actually helping Mother Gaia to reboost somehow like that. And Ceres actually during this trine is in Capricorn. So over here it's very practical, nurturing approach, like I love you, I give you everything, but I'm still strict with you, and I'm very disciplined, Ceres is here making the money, making everything comfortable. That's how it's the service for others, act of service in Capricorn, like the love language of Ceres in Capricorn is the act of service here. So yes. And then if you are talking about Black Moon Lilith, okay, in mythology. So in Jewish mythology, Lilith was Adam's first wife, okay? All right, but she was not an obedient wife. She said, no, I'm not going to follow your rules, whatever, I want to be independent. So Black Moon Lilith actually symbolizing our female dark side, something with taboos, but Black Moon Lilith never have regret about anything what she does. So she absolutely disobeyed Adam. And that's why God gave Adam another wife, right? And actually, Black Moon Lilith was disappeared from Garden of Eden. She couldn't stay over there. So astrologically, it's represent the darker side of our personality or hidden desires. And it's very raw, very, very unfiltered energy, very sexual. It's empowerment over here. So in Virgo, Black Moon Lilith indicates a struggle for perfection because, you know, Virgo always seeking for perfection, for purity. And Virgo has to control everything, has to plan everything in ahead. So obviously it is also a struggle for control. And it can manifest an intense focus on details. And a lot of sign doesn't like that kind of critical thinking and tendencies. And, you know, there could be some kind of issue actually during this time around health because of Virgo is sixth house ruled by the sixth house, also Ceres as well. But, you know, it could be some kind of issue around health. And as I said, it could bring in issues with co disease and anything to do with liver hepatitis issues because of Uranian energy as well, and some kind of challenge over there. So, okay, definitely it's an Earth dominant, this Grand Trine. So anything to do with practicality, and it's emphasizing anything in the Earth sign. So it's very stable energy. You know, Taurus anyway, it's a fixed sign. So it could be very stubborn. We don't want to let go of something, for example, but doesn't serve us. But the Grand Trine itself is going to create something really great, and we're going to be able to bring healing with food, with herbs, we're gonna go holistic, as I said, because we're going to have out of stock the medicines, the pharmaceutical. So it's going to create approach toward to holistic medicine, this Grand Trine for us here. Nurturing others, nurturing ourselves. Nurturing ourselves through environment, we're going to get grounded. If you heard about grounding, like barefoot, being barefoot in nature, because of grounding is actually something when, you know, the thunders coming in, the lightning, and actually it's the electrons from the thunder is going to give a new frequency of the earth, and it is healing properties, and especially with Uranus, which could represent lightning, then it could be like something, because Uranus is the lightning, it could be we are going to get healed through the frequency of the lightning, but obviously not when it hits you, but it hits the earth and the frequency changing, you're gonna grounding, it is a thing, it is healing, and we're going to be taking responsibility or health through nature. So that is really, really good. You know, anything to do with environmentalism. Why? Because it's earth time. So environmentalism, practical innovation, sustainable energy will be in focus. And then this Uranus and Jupiter conjunction going to sextile Mars in Pisces. I was talking about that. So we have to check the Mars influence. Mars is the planet of courage, war, inner warrior. It is anything to do with action, anything to do with drive, also love and very, very strong sexual energy. But in Pisces, not that strong, because Pisces is a water sign. However, it could actually stand up for spiritual beliefs, stand up for the unprivileged, being advocate for the unprivileged. Why? Because Jupiter and Uranus, it is something to do with social unrest, Mars in Pisces, sextile, because we're going to have social unrest because of we have to stand up for our health. We're not going to take Mars's vaccination, for example. It could be like unrest against some new kind of vaccination. So yeah, you know, it could be that as well. So we will be compassionate and driven toward to spirituality. We're gonna be and creative pursuit as well, because of Mars wants to create in Pisces, and Pisces is very creative. Anything to do with technology, maybe you're going to animate movies, and it's going to be new animations, definitely, because Uranus technology, Jupiter also could rule media, TV, and Mars in Pisces could be also media, TV, and anything to do with creativity, script writing. So yes, there is, but unfortunately, the Uranian energy is AI, so AI going to get involved in this for sure. Okay, we're going to actually shift towards sustainable energy, as I said, and we're going to stand up for environmental issues or against environmental issues. It's also going to be like, I want peace. I want people to have compassion and become spiritual instead of war, you know, like rebel against the war. And if we are checking the educational system for this sexti over here, you know, that is a new program, and it could be actually a new program, anything to do with technology, anything to do with, actually, we are going to be capable to fund arts, fund technology and science, which is going to be amazing, I would say. We also going to emphasize empathy or social responsibility, awareness, advocating. It's radical. It's something like, I cannot take it anymore. I have to push through. I have to step into my authentic, unique self and let my voice heard, even if I'm gonna be hated. I don't care anymore. So those kind of things, and also holistic health and wellness, as I said, going to be very, very important. So as I said, mainstream health is declining. Not health, mainstream medicine going to decline. We're really going to find comfort in herbs and tinctures, and you're gonna make and create your own and have hydroponic garden, Uranus, Taurus, hydroponic garden, something with technology. You're going to do your own food. So I love that. And then there is another aspect, which is the last, and that is Chiron conjunct Venus the same day when Uranus conjunct Jupiter. And why are we talking about that? Because of Taurus, where Uranus Jupiter is going to happen, ruled by Venus, and the same day Venus conjunct Chiron. And you know, Chiron is the wounded healer, right? So it's going to conjunct with the planet of love, the planet of goodness and beauty in the sign of Aries, which is like, Aries is headstrong, anything to do initiation. It's the start, you know, it's the spark of the starting something, very impulsive energy. So the dynamic here going to be between, like, we going to want to heal through love, through art, because of Venus is art. And we are capable. Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron is symbolizing the centaur, which is like God, you know, like wounded and could heal everyone else but himself. So there is a struggle over here, but we're going to feel something like kumbaya, you know, that song, come by me, Lord, come by me, because we will feel like that kind of spiritual, amazing opportunity to regain our energy and to heal through love and compassion and art. So there is going to be a lot of people, art therapy. For example, I'm a psychiatric nurse and a special educational teacher and drama therapist. So drama therapy going to be involved in children mental health. And as you know, since COVID, we have a lot of health issues. And that's why we're going to also go to nature, like grounding, what I said, from Uranus, and also medical marijuana and mushrooms, you know, psychedelic, but microdosing. It's going to be an actually outlet for us to heal our mental status and get better psychologically. Yes, that is there, and especially I'm talking about that because Mars is sextile in Pisces, so Pisces is psychological issue, anything but unseen, subconscious, and you know, also the psychedelic as well. So yes, that is. But Chiron and Venus over here, it's indicating like let's heal ourselves through love and art and definitely initiate healing. We are not waiting right now for the good time and oh, maybe later on I'm going to have a good opportunity. I'm at the right time and the right place. No, we're going to initiate it. We want to heal. And on the climate area, it could be something to do with an awakening to stand up for Mother Earth. So heal the earth, and also through love and Venus's gardening and flowers. You will see a lot more people going to go out and actually create garden. For example, I live in a society, very crazy, HOA rules. Everywhere is lawn and we are forbidden to have fruit trees and whatever. My yard is blocked, but close, so nobody can see anything here. But I can have my herbs, but they are against cuckoo. This is, I mean, what you're gonna eat? Your freaking money. So they don't allow this, which is really crazy. But I know you will see like more HOA or more society like this kind of homeowner association going to allow gardening. People going to actually get grounded through gardening. So this is anything to do with climate, oxygen, gardening, like a lot of tree. It's going to be like reforms, to go and together, hold our hand together, and we're gonna plant a whole forest together. So things like that. Healing Mother Earth in Martian style. You are the warrior. You have the courage. You're standing up against something. I don't care what the HOA said. I'm gonna have my garden. That's it. That kind of thing. And in peace and war, like Aries is war itself, but it could be courage as well. And because Chiron and Venus involved, I would say there is courage to stand up against war and let your voice heard. Why? Because of whatever is going on, if you are capable to see and watch genocide around the world, to taking anybody's side, this is wrong. No people should die from another people hatred or guns or I'm infuriated, truly infuriated. So there is going to be more protest for peace, equality. Uranus is equality. It's seeking for equality, guys. So, and Jupiter, equality, like has a general, equal kind of opportunity for everyone. Not necessarily everyone lives with the opportunity. There is a lot of lazy or addict or whatever crappy people, obviously, but at least give the same opportunity. And if you are capable to live with it, then you're going to expand your anything and you will grow. So yes, that could be as well. Yeah, in peace. So standing up and heal and move on. And the geopolitical dynamic over here, it could stir up some kind of storm. Why? Because of obviously obviously government doesn't want you to be against that decision or whatever they decided on war. Why? Because of the gun stock is going up. The nuclear stock is going up. Somebody getting rich, somebody is filling their pocket. That's why. And on educational reform with Chiron and Venus, it is going to be like finally art is coming back. Imagination art is going to be supported by this influence. So it could be really, really great. As I said, children going to be healed through art, through drama therapy, through pain therapy, anything, but it's going to be really, really great there. And mental health awareness for sure, like it is almost like because of Aries is aggression and Venus over there is love and Chiron is healing people from hatred. And that would be wonderful, because lately probably you are also acknowledge that. But wherever I go, I see people to initiate fight, even if you are not in fault. Fault. It is like crazy, like they provoke you for things that doesn't even exist. So I see like hatred could be healed somehow. And quite frankly, I would really, really love that. All right, guys. So this was the first part of Uranus and Jupiter conjunction and the sky during the Uranus and Jupiter conjunction. It is a lot of information. I'm ready to put that up for you. And I'm coming tomorrow, perhaps, or Friday, I'm gonna do the each individual sign, which is going to be long. I mean, 5 to 10 minutes each individual sign. I actually going to try to do 10 minutes to do a very detailed, where you can invest, what you have to watch out with medical things. And, as I said, there is a disclaimer, I'm not an ologist, so please go for financial advice and go to your doctor all the time. But it is just a compass in your life, like prevent something, but you can prevent and not to do errors, or not to suffer from the negative effect of those planetary conjunction or aspect over here. All right, thank you so much for listening, liking, and sharing. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, I do a lot for you. Really, during the hour of consultation, you get all information, you get flooded, and you record it, you can listen that back all the time. I can also do written if you don't have time, because I can work at night, doesn't matter. And if you would like to have that also, let me know. Check out my website, subscribe, share it with your friends, because they can also benefit from my reading. And it's encouraging me to actually create more content for you guys. And you can learn and love of astrology. I'm obsessed with astrology. All right. Thank you so much. Bye for now.